Sprinkler line break responsibility question mark. That
Yes,
is
that
what
was
I
the
showed
one I-
you. That's what
yeah.
I showed you.
And you sent pictures?
I sent the email
Right.
I couldn't
that
click
I
on it.
forwarded Greg's original email, which had all the
Right.
pictures and videos and stuff in them for reference.
Okay, want me to take it from here?
Sure, please.
Okay. I wanted to make sure I pulled that up. I got all kinds of pictures in here. Okay, what had happened was, this dates back a while back when we had to make repair to a septic tank. It did not have the second riser on it. You're familiar with that, Bob? And we only pump it out partially from the pump chamber. KG&T came back and actually put another riser on. We had to remove like a tie from below his deck and whatnot. But at the same time, we also found that our sewer main, which is a 3-inch pressure main, runs basically down the middle of his back lawn. It's an easement, but it looks like it's the middle of his back lawn. Had a leak there. So we fixed that, but it was like fixing in soup in the middle of the winter kind of thing. So we put it back together as best as we could. We then came back and smoothed it out, and Dan Lincoln added some seed there to cause it to grow. In the meantime, come this spring, he turns the sprinkler on, and he used 250,000 gallons in 1 month. Assuming there was we found there was a leak from his sprinkler system. At the time KG&T put it back together, they said, he asked them if they hit any sewer line. They said no, they did not hit any sewer line. And then I said, well, why don't you call a sprinkler guy out and let us know what you find. Well, they called the sprinkler company out and they couldn't find anything, even though it's quite obvious there was one there. It could be one of those things where it's intermittent, but they couldn't, they can't prove it. So where it's at is that he would like to be obviously credited for the 250,000 gallons used, but also he wants his yard restored and grass seed and rocks removed and things like that to where it was before. The issue is that if it is indeed a utility easement, it is, it's already, but it's not like the edge of his backyard, it's down the middle. So that's why there's sprinklers to crisscross it. So we just wanted to bring that before the board and see how to proceed. Have you dealt with something like this before, Bob? You want to give your 2 cents worth?
Yes, I have dealt with many situations like this.
Yes.
And is our easement, is it in our easement?
Yes.
Going through the middle of his
It's going
yard?
through the middle of his yard. Now I would assume it's a recorded easement from when they put the system in 1992, but I mean,
If it's a recorded easement,
yeah.
depending on what that easement was for,
Mm-hmm.
We might be responsible for
But
repairs on it, but not so much bringing back his lawn.
Right,
If it's just an access easement
Right.
for repairs,
right,
kind of question.
right. Then the other issue is he claims, although nobody can back it up, that the company in KG&T broke the sprinkler line. We don't know. They said they didn't, and they still can't even find the break right now. So we're kind of
So
a
is
quandary.
this sprinkler line going over the top of the shallow dig?
Yes. Yes. Well, it's in.
Did he-
Let me
did he
put
mark
it.
it?
Let me put it's in the area. It's in the area, and they claim
like
they
a
didn't
sprinkler
find any
system.
sprinklers. They're being very careful through it all, but he claims they did, and now he had a sprinkler company come out. And they can't find where it's leaking. Even though it's leaking so much, it was seeping down the hillside. Well, it's a steep hillside. The neighbor below called me and said, "Have you got a sewer line break up there? Because it's seeping on." And I went up and found out it was his sprinklers.
So sprinklers still on now?
No, they're off, and he's basically saying, well, if they're off, you're probably gonna have to resod me because I'm gonna let the grass die.
I know.
So, but if he turns them on, do they leak? Yeah.
Supposedly.
Well,
How do we
then-
know it's fixed?
Well, then the
I mean,
It's
sprinkler
not,
guy can,
they can't find the leak.
then
So
the
it's
sprinkler
not
guy can
fixed.
find it because it will show up.
Right.
Well, anyway, they don't know if it's
Wrong.
intermittent, but they said,
It
yeah.
does. It seems a little off.
So anyway, I'm just simply presenting the case. I don't necessarily have a
No, I hear
solution
you.
here, but,
I guess one of the things I would consider is the fact that the sewer line's in an easement,
mhm,
and the sprinkler line was probably put in after the fact because it's above that.
mhm.
So that would be his responsibility if that happened, if they can't determine that our guys broke it, even if they did. I mean, he should have said, hey, this is here.
When
Right.
anybody digs up a hole, you have responsibility to put things back. Certainly cleaning up the rocks, can't do it in the middle of winter,
Mhm.
that's fruitless. I think we ought to take care of the guy's lawn, but if he's not watering it now, well, that's his problem, really. that's, he has to take care of. We all have a responsibility to
Yeah.
take care of things to not
He doesn't
allow
want,
more
he
damage.
doesn't want a hand water, in other words, because it's already got a lot of rocks and it's kind of messy anyway, and so I just don't know, you know, will there be an end to it if we take care of all this? I don't know. Jesse, we've already spent quite a bit of money with Dan Lincoln restoring it after KG&T was there. Wasn't it like about $3,000 or something like that?
Regardless of all that stuff, where was the line in relationship to the repair to the sewer line?
I don't know because they haven't been able to find the
Yeah, we
leak.
can't locate.
I know, but the water line for the sprinkler system should be, he should know where that is laid.
He's a new homeowner there, so he doesn't know.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Current line.
It's like
Could've
a
been
quarter
that
million
way.
gallons would show up somewhere.
Move
Sounds-
in.
Yeah, it sounds like the first thing we need to do is at least determine where
I
the
know.
sprinkler line break is. I
Right.
mean, how are we supposed to move forward? Like,
We're
are
still
we supposed to
troubleshooting,
pay
so we
to
can't,
determine
we
that?
can't
Yeah.
determine a fix until we know how to fix, we troubleshoot.
Right.
We don't know whose fault it is until it's
Yeah.
located, I mean.
Yeah.
If it's an area we worked close by,
Which is what he claims from the pictures if you looked at them.
So is it our responsibility to go in there and find all that?
That's the point. It's in our easement and,
If he's using our easement,
right,
and it is, you gotta look at the easement first, because you get all kinds of easements out there.
right.
What's allowed for that, for our easement, so I certainly want to look at the easement first.
So the question I would have is,
You
should we
said if it's
assume
an
there is an
access
easement there?
easement.
Should we assume that the back in 1992, they got easements through all those properties, or is this something we need to research?
Oh, gosh.
Well, if we want to stand on the easement argument, we'd need
Yeah.
to know the litigation associated with how it's defined.
we spent a lot of money
Easement.
doing all those things. It'd be great if we
Okay.
could just find where the leak is and fix it, but if the
So far,
irrigation
they
company
don't
can't
find
find
it,
it, then
yeah.
how are we gonna find it?
Yeah.
Well, if it's not in the area where they were digging stuff up,
Well, it is, but it is according to the pictures there. We said
or
that.
except if they can't find the
Well,
leak, if
yeah.
they don't know where the leak is, how do you know that it's in the area where the,
They just showed the in relation to where it was all mushy and whatnot, was right in the middle where our sewer line is, so.
So if you turn it back on and they can't find the leak, something's wrong. Doesn't make any sense.
Is
I mean,
his
especially
meter,
that much of a leak.
is his meter really going around fast?
It certainly did. I don't know if it is right now, but yeah, 250,000 gallons through a 5/8 3/4 meter in a
Yeah.
month. That's a lot of water.
Yeah, but that, you know, that might tell you, I mean, if his meter is slowed down, it might tell you that something has been,
Well, if he's got the sprinklers off, yeah, that's
Yeah.
slowed down, yeah.
yeah.
So, but if you hired a sprinkler company to come out and they can't find it, it's kind of, where do we go with this?
Right. It's gonna stay at a standstill, and he wants to put it in our court,
Right,
and
because you were digging there and it's right in there.
to make us decide so there's movement, because
Right.
they don't wanna move on it. And,
Right.
and we would need to know what the easement is, wouldn't we, first?
Right,
So we do need to find out what the
Is
easement
that-
is, and if it is just access, well, no, we have the easement for water lines, so it's gonna be more
well,
than
this
access.
is primarily the sewer that runs the backside, it's sewer line,
So we do need,
yeah. Is that an attorney issue or is that staff issue?
that's a
What is
good
it?
question.
I would look
Jesse,
at
do you
the,
know?
I would look at the easement first and see what it says. And based on what you see there, you can make a reasonable decision on whether to,
Just
Because
Yeah,
we
right.
got a book over there that has all
County
these
records.
in them, right?
No,
Well, look at
so we have swing ties in there, but it doesn't necessarily show easements.
Clint's working on easement stuff,
Oh, he
and
is?
he's marked it down on his list of,
Okay.
things to research, but, yeah, I mean, one is the easements, and two is
county
determine
plats
the
will show
location
those,
of the
right?
leak.
Right.
County plats will show those,
I
right?
don't really wanna take it to an attorney
Easements
and
and
be
what
like,
they
I don't
meant
know
for.
where to.
I mean, that's where you're gonna.
Well,
you should
We
go.
may or may not have
And
that.
that volume is essentially a garden hose running full stream for
Right.
a month.
Right.
Now,
It's-
the Adobe trying to digitalize this.
Okay.
You
I
would
gotta go
find,
through
you
and
would,
find them,
come on, you can't
like what we did with some of the one keep.
walk blindly
If
over
they got a
that
picture
stuff.
of it, if they got pictures of it, they should be able to pinpoint pretty close anyway.
You would think so.
And it's only down a foot or two, right, because irrigation?
Yes.
And that's what I find odd, is how you could be missing, how you could be expelling that much water
Mhm.
within a certain amount of time frame, and we're saying we can't find a leak.
Yeah.
That, somebody's not looking.
Yeah.
Well, if it's a supply line to his watering system, it would leak all the time.
Yeah, well, it supplies the spray heads, whatever
Right.
zone it's at.
But, 250,000 gallons would definitely show.
Yeah, if yeah, I mean, it wouldn't, the meter wouldn't slow down or stop if it was his main supply line to his
Zones,
sprinkler.
different zones
No.
or whatever it
Yeah,
might be, right?
yeah.
Yeah, that would continue to leak.
But he says he has it turned off, so
Right.
he probably has a main turn off, so he
Right.
says turned off.
Right.
Not necessarily electronically, he just has
Yes,
it
we need
turned
to
off.
determine what
Yeah.
our liability is to get it repaired and see if
And
it's worth going for the.
That's where
lawyers.
we would go to the lawyers if we were to determine that we could be liable. Otherwise, there's no sense in going to legal and just to be spending money.
Well, I'd
with them.
suggest we wait and see what Clint finds out with the easement aspects.
Yeah, Clint will look at the easement stuff, I'll send an email to it, I mean, we need to know where it's broken.
Right.
If, you know, if we did the work in this section and, you know, we determined the
I'm
break
having
is in that
deja
section
vu
as
of
well,
8
but,
years ago.
And if it's most likely that we broke it, we should fix it and move on to life here, so.
yeah, we just.
Well, in his mind, it's obvious that we broke it, even though he can't find the leak, and it is leaking, and the ground's very mushy on the feet, so that's what his
What
claim
do
is.
we repair if they can't find the leak?
Yeah,
That's the problem.
I mean, leaks are tough in this ground, but that's up on the side hill, right?
yeah,
So that should
it's
be
the
easier.
south Cape Horn,
That should be easier
Oh
right
my
there.
gosh,
yeah, you're going down
it
like
could
that,
disappear and never
Yeah.
surface.
right.
But it did surface.
It surfaced on the property below, and it was mushy below where it was leaking. It was probably because it's on a steep hillside, all of a sudden the hillside's
Okay,
leaking.
well, Clint has direction and he's just as bad
Okay.
for the guys.
Okay,
Mom's
that's
gonna
your-
die, but if he doesn't
So
have
if
a
it is
water
an
line-
if it is an easement, then what is the board's next
It
recommended
depends on
action?
depends on what the easement grants.
Okay, say if
If it's one for
We're not
egress and one for
Yeah.
utility work.
Yeah, we're not gonna do that.
No hypotheticals right now.
yeah, let's say if it is for utility work and whatnot,
Yeah,
then.
we gotta look at the easement.
We'll
see what it
determine
is.
that. later.
Okay, all right.
By the way, the power's supposed to be back on, not until 6. So.
And if you're having trouble
really?
finding it,
Yeah,
Wow,
let's
yeah.